It's time for the Smash Those Small Pads collaboration, and this month I focused on red, white, and blue. Hey, it's Beth. Welcome. So for the Smash Our Pads collaboration this month, I used the 4th of July paper pack from Scrapbook Customs. It was a small pack. I think there were only 12 sheets, but I loved all of the different patterns, and they were double-sided. And this is just a small collaboration I do with my friend Sarah, who's Crafting Relaxing here on YouTube, and Kathy, who's Stampin' Cat over on Instagram. Each month we just pull out a small pad, and that's smaller than 12 by 12, and work on using it up. So this month, since we are rolling into July, I made some 4th of July cards, and I plan to use these cards for signed thank yous to Cards for Soldiers or veterans. So I know I normally do this as a process, but I actually did these while I was on vacation. And I used some of my No Scraps sketch sets and just adapted them down. These are 3.5 by 5 inch, like the little note cards. And so I just took my sketch and kind of adapted the size down to fit a note card. So this is the No Scrap sketch set number 1. And for every sheet of paper you use with this one, you get one A2 size card. And I managed to stretch it. And so I think I used 4 sheets of paper, like two sets of 2. So like this, the plaid was 1 and the stars were 1. The blue background was the back side of the stars, and then this lighter blue background was the background of the plaid. And then I brought in some ephemera at times, and then other times I just use pre-stamped, or I just had some thank you sentiments that I stamped. So this one just says red, white, and blue, 1776. So this one is mostly ephemera. And then I made 4 of the cards that the sketch calls for, but then I had some scraps. So I managed to get 2 other cards. This is actually from one of my other sketch sets. It's from sketch set number 4. I mean, technically both of these are. It's just I oriented them a little bit differently. But this one I just took I had some square cut off pieces from this strip. And so I just put those together in a grid and added my ephemera. And then this one was just some additional strips left over from, I think, like the top up here maybe. And I just turned it sideways and then added some ephemera. But they also all have scraps on the inside. So that was sketch set 1. And then I did some with sketch set number 2. And this one again uses 4 sheets of 6 by 6 and would give you 5 A2 cards. And I ended up getting 7. So I have the sketch 2A here. I did a bunch of those, and I just used some die cut stars that I already had in my stash, cut from scraps, and then sentiment at the bottom. I think my favorite was this red, white, and blue floral. I really liked that one. And then I did a couple of sketch 2B, or one of sketch 2B, I guess, using the strip that was left. And then I guess I kind of it wasn't my intention, but I kind of was able to use sketch 4A and B again with the strips that I had left over for 1. And I changed up the orientation of this one a little bit. So I shifted the grid and then added a sentiment down here at the bottom. And then I had some of these little confetti stars that I think I picked up at a garage sale and silver, and I just popped those on there for a little bit of interest and dimension. And it's funny, when I was making these, like I didn't even realize that I was using these 2 sketches with my scraps, so that kind of worked out. And then I have sketch set 5, which again uses 4 sheets of 6x6 and gives you 8 A2 cards. And I think I have like 11 of these. So we'll start out with the sketch A. I just adapted the size and kind of mixed and matched the, you know, the tops and the bottoms of the pieces. And then used, on the sketch A, I do give you the idea to use some circles down here. I used some little vinyl, white vinyl stars that I had cut from scrap vinyl at some point. So that's the sketch 5A, and then I have a bunch from sketch 5B, and the squares for the A2 size card are like 2-inch squares. And so I ended up making mine 1.5 inch, and so I was able to get more from each paper. So I didn't back all of them with cardstock, but I did back the center one just to kind of help it stand out a little bit more and to fill in some of that gap. And then a lot of times I have my sentiment down here and kind of balanced it out with a star. I only added the star in the center for some of the, well, I guess I ended up adding in all of them. But I used smaller ones with this prettier, like, fireworks background. So I think I got 5 of those. And then I had scraps left over and like some strips. So again, this was 4A. Kind of just took the wider strips that I had and put them across my card and added a big thank you. And then I have this one, which was a bunch of the thinner strips. And kind of, they're actually varied sizes. And so I just kind of varied the pattern. And then this thanks was something I had die cut from scraps earlier on as well. And again, they all had scraps in on the inside. So these are my 24 cards, 24, I don't know if this is A1 size cards, but 24 note cards that are 3.5 by 5 inch, and from my 12 sheets of the Scrapbook Customs 4th of July paper pack. And I had fun kind of playing with my no scrap sketches and adapting them to different sizes and kind of using the scraps in different ways, and kind of ended up mixing and matching some of the sketches in different cases. So anyway, this is my quick share for today. Please be sure to check out the links for Sarah and Kathy in the description box below. I will link my sketch sets for you in the description box below as well. But as always, thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you all have a very crafty day.